Nirvadosabhayam Ratnani Vararuji Tava Vikramasya. These are the nine great jewels. Dhanvantari, Shabanaha, Amarasingha, Shambhu, Vedalapatta, Kadakarpana, Galadasa, Khadavo, Varahamiru, Nirvadosabhayam Ratnani Vararuji Tava Vikramasya. There, the king is in his deathbed. The young king, the prince, is there about to be for his coronation. What the minister said, the young prince has become ripe enough to be the king, so we can straight away have the coronation. But the older king said no. He is not ripe enough to be the king. Let him go out of the palace, live with the common people, learn something from them, then come back and tell us what he has learned. The young prince goes for 1 year. He is among the people. He learns how they think, how they feel, how they react, how they experience, how they chastise, how they are happy, how they are unhappy, how they deal with the various humdrum of life. Everything, which he had not seen in the palace, he learned there. And he came and reproduced that. The courtier said, yeah, he is fit enough to be king. The older king said, no. Let him go into the forest. There is a hermit there. Learn something from the hermit. The prince goes there, meets the hermit. The hermit tells him, go out to the forest. Listen to the sounds there. Come back and tell me. The young prince listens to thousands of sounds in the forest, which he has not heard in the palace. He comes and reproduces the sounds before the hermit. The hermit said, no, not enough. Then he goes with rapt attention. He listens. Then comes back and tells the hermit, I have heard 2 new sounds. What are those? I heard the sound of the daybreak. I heard the sound of the daybreak. I heard the sound of honey getting filled in the flower. The hermit said, yes. Now you are fit enough to be king. Now you are fit enough to lead. You should be able to hear what others do not hear. You should be able to see what others do not hear, others do not see. You should be able to hear the sound of silence. A student has to do that. Whatever you have learned in the classroom is nothing unless you learn from life. You should be able to hear what others do not hear. We should be able to see what others do not see. That is a test of education. Whether you are on your own, or are you like Hamlet to be or not to be. You should be able to do when you are asked to do. When we say Atmanirbhar Bharat or Viksit Bharat, what the Prime Minister expects of us is to do our duty. Karmanni Vathikaraste. Maphalesha Gadajana. See, in the Bible, this thing, in the beginning was the Word. The Word was with God and the Word was God. Which means everything is as an idea in your mind. Everything is born twice. First in your mind and then in the field. That is what, quoting Milton, the Honorable Vice Chancellor said, quoting Milton. Milton said, oh, the mind is its own place and in itself can make a heaven of hell or a hell of heaven. Or mind can make a heaven of hell or a hell of heaven. Education means that there should be vision and action. If you have vision without action, there is no result. If you have action without vision, it can be counterproductive. Education is what makes you know what is right and what is wrong. When you are confronted with the conflicting idea, to be or not to be, you should be able to take a firm decision. If you are able to do that, it means your education has succeeded. But I do not want to take too much of your time. I remember something which I repeated in one of the convocations earlier. You know, before joining here as governor, I was an Indian administrative service. I was a district collector, that is a district magistrate in Bengal. Even now when I go to the field, when there is violence, when there is something, people ask me, are you governor or are you a district magistrate? I still feel I am a district magistrate. I want to go to the people I'll keep on going that. Now, what I want to tell you is that when I was district collector of a district called Kollam, the cashew hub of India, Kollam, there was an international inter-religious conclave. Leading speakers from all over the world came there. Among them was Swami Chinmayananda. Have you heard of him? Swami Chinmayananda. He's an exponent of Bhagavad Gita. All over the world, thousands of people come to listen to his speech on Bhagavad Gita. I also went there because I know him and I wanted to learn more about Bhagavad Gita. When I was waiting for him, an announcement came on the mic. Your attention, ladies and gentlemen. The flight of Swami Chinmayananda has been delayed by 1 hour. Next announcement. In the meantime, our district collector Anand was to speak. My God. I went on the platform, I didn't know what is the topic. I said, what is the topic? You know what the topic was? Dialectical materialism and the essence of Indian philosophy. Have you understood anything? I did not understand a thing. Dialectical materialism and the essence of Indian philosophy. Anyway, having announced, I started speaking like the old auto rickshaw which is going on a gradient. Somehow, dialectical materialism, then to Indian philosophy, I started somehow managing. After 15 minutes, I get a chit. I was so relieved. Normally when you get a chit during your speech, it means please wind up. But you know what was written on the chit? Swamiji's flight has been delayed by 2 more hours, you please speak out. So I had to speak of dialectical materialism and the essence of Indian philosophy. This is scene number 1. Now scene number 2. I got a UN award for my experiments in low-cost housing, which was selected by the UN as a global best practice. I was invited to receive that. I was also given 3 minutes to speak in the floor of the General Assembly. I was very happy about that. Very satisfied. I was resting in my Manhattan hotel. By about midnight, I get a long distance call. You know, at that time this mobile was not so very popular. Somebody is calling me from Kerala. An old lady, from her voice it was very familiar. And she asked me, am I speaking to Dr. Anand Bose? I said, yes ma'am. Sir, I need your help. Please tell me ma'am. Dr. Bose, I am not able to sleep for the last 3 nights. Tell me ma'am. I need your help, doctor. So I thought maybe she felt I am a medical doctor. So I said, ma'am, I am not a medical doctor. I know everything about you, doctor. I know very well. What can you do, ma'am? See, I told you I am not getting sleep for the last 3 days. You please help me. How can I help you, ma'am? See, you remember, when you were district collector here, you gave a speech on dialectical materialism and the essence of Indian philosophy. Yes, ma'am. 1 minute after you started talking about that, I started sleeping. Can you repeat the speech once again so that I can sleep? So I don't want to make you say that. More than that, a contemporary discomfiture which I had. I was giving the convocation address in another university. People clapped. I thought they enjoyed my speech. So I kept on speaking. And seeing the enthusiasm of the youngsters, I said, we need educational reform, we need industrial reform, we need cultural reform. A student from the audience said, but you need some chloroform. Before we say that, thank you very much. Wish you the very best.